Well, hi, everybody. It's for those of you new to the process, this is District 6310. Randy Adams, the incoming governor. Say hi, Randy.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you, Michael.
Good to see you, sir. I've helped Randy punch up his speech for his inauguration. And I know Jeff Librent and I go way back when we did one of the first Rotary fundraiser, these professional development fundraisers over 10 years ago now. And it's good to see you, Jeff. You're already a PDG, yeah?
No, I'm going to be following Randy.
Oh, 2 years out. Okay, very
2
good.
2 years out, 21, 22.
And congratulations to you,
Yeah,
sir.
we do go back a ways. It's been a lot of fun. 10 years ago was a great time having you help our club with our fundraising efforts, and it was fantastic. And it's been fun watching you continue to train people up around the Rotary world. So,
oh, it's my pleasure. It's my give back. I don't remember our numbers from that exercise in for the Rotary Club of Pigeon 10 years ago, but the way we pitch that professional development program now, it's a 3-hour, half-day program. And if you do everything I tell you to do, you net $10,000 for your club. That's a pretty good. I
think we're pretty close to that, Michael. And the time frame was about the same. And we've got a town of 1,200 people, as you maybe recall, in a club of about 50 members, and so we did net about somewhere between 9,000 to 10,000, if my memory serves me correctly. And it was so successful that our club wanted to do it every other year.
Yeah.
And so we've continued that. So it's been a lot of fun.
And we're back to the egg because the Rotary Club of Pigeon has asked me to do it again next year. And I couldn't be more delighted because I've now helped clubs all over North America raise just about $300,000 through this program. Figure 30 events times 10K, that's the rough math on it. So I have deep roots with the Pigeon Club, with your district. And I just love this idea of helping you guys out, especially on a year where you got shortchanged at your pets. Was everybody on the call at pets? No? Okay. So they'd had pets, and COVID was just getting rolling, and they pulled the plug on it and sent everybody home on Saturday, which means everybody got shortchanged, and then you had to do training online, and I don't know how that turned out. But I think Randy's interest in having me get involved with you guys was specifically to help everybody in the district who cared to improve their presentation skills. Now, who are we talking about? We're talking about 32 or 33 club presidents. We're talking about 32 or 33 PNs, president nominees. We're talking about club officers. We're talking about people that maybe are employed and want to double dip and become a better speaker at work. We're talking about people who make a living in sales, on commission-based sales, who now have to make up from this malaise called COVID, where they're going to be back to work trying to, put money in the bank for their family and so they can go on vacation this year. And the idea was that if we were going to do these two sessions on January 2nd and January 9th at 7 p.m. and try to put 100 people on each of these Zoom calls to talk about presentation skills, that we would need to do a dress rehearsal with this talented group of people tonight so that we could stage this properly and I could show you some of the best practices and that sort of thing. So
and Michael, June 2nd and 9th is next week. So the timing on this call is very good.
Okay, excellent. And then, we don't have a lot to do, but I do want to make sure we dot all our I's and cross all our T's. Rachel McClintock, thank you for taking the lead on this and getting the cats all herded. I appreciate it. What is your role in the district, please?
I am on the communications committee. I manage our website and a little more, I guess, digital communications wise.
Okay.
He's our electronic communications chair.
Excellent.
And you guys, I apologize. I have been painting and I almost had to take this call from my shop. So please, I'm kind of like, oh, shoot, I didn't realize this was today. So.
Wouldn't have even noticed if you hadn't told us. Samantha, would you introduce yourself to me, please? What is your area of expertise? Why were you invited to this august group?
Yeah, hi, Michael. I am a member of the Harbor Beach Club, just down the road from Pigeon, and I am the incoming public relations or public image chair, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a president nominee for our club. So when Jeff is our district governor, I will be serving as our club's president.
Excellent. So all of us, in a way, will be working together next year. Me at the zone level with public image, you at the district level with public image, and Jeff, of course. So I think our paths are going to cross many, many times. Thank you very much.
And Michael, if I can add, Samantha was a recipient of a scholarship for zone for the aspiring leaders.
Oh, wow.
Sessions that were held there.
Yeah, so that's how I got to Niagara Falls, is I received a generous scholarship that allowed me to attend the Aspiring Leaders Conference.
Love it. And I've heard that program referred to as emerging leaders and whiz kids and all kinds of things, but I'm glad you were able to take advantage of that. Mackenzie, tell me about yourself, please.
If you would have started with why was I on this, joined with this illustrious group of people on this call, I would have said ask Samantha. So I'm glad you didn't start with that. So I am Mackenzie. I'm a member of the Bad Axe Club. So I'm halfway between Samantha and Jeff. And I guess I was approached as on-air talent is the best way that I can describe it. I hosted the Harbor Beach, or the Bad Axe Club hosted Evan Burrell earlier, I think it was last month. Does that sound right, people?
Yeah.
Last month. And so I was kind of the point person for our club, coordinating that and facilitating introductions and keeping the Zoom call moving, doing the Q&A through the chat, kind of curating those questions and doing it in a way that didn't get clunky on Zoom. And Randy and Jeff were a part of that. So when the opportunity came up that they called in the favor for you and they needed someone to serve kind of in that role again, my phone rang. So that's how I ended up here.
That's all these guys do is call in favor.
You know, when my phone lights up and it's Jeff Leiprant. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be beneficial to all concerned, not just to Jeff and Randy. Let's get that straight.
Right.
Mackenzie, I can tell you know what you're doing. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to need somebody with some Zoom efficacy, so really glad that you're with us. Hey, is it Connie? How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. I'm the administrative assistant for the district.
Okay.
I've been in that position since 2012, and I'm a newbie to Zoom, but I have got it for the district, the pro edition for the district, and also for my own club. So I'm learning.
Well, you sure are. You're the only one on the call with a virtual background all tricked out. Good for you.
Do a lot of Rotary Zoom.
I was on
she's underselling her skills on Zoom. She's very talented on Zoom. In fact, she's the only one that I know that set up a poll on Zoom and pulled it off very effectively. So I was impressed by that.
Thank you.
I was on another consult with Zoom best practices, how to get more from it. Everybody's got Zoom 101 now. We're working on 201, right? Because we need a good value proposition. The honeymoon's going to be over with Zoom calls soon, and Rotarians are going to be like, la, la, la. You know,
yeah.
I'm not coming to your Zoom meetings anymore either if you don't have something going on. So we need to be constantly refining, redefining our value proposition. I told some people earlier this morning that they finally got their virtual backgrounds all figured out. I said, now some of you need to focus on the foreground and make sure that you're bringing it to the meetings, because otherwise people won't be coming anymore. So when we do our first session on June 2nd, guys and gals, I want to make sure that we're all singing off the same page of the hymn book. So I'm kind of walking the walk right now. You notice that we're recording the session, which of course we're going to do on the 2nd and the 9th. The reason we do that is we want to make the program available to as many people as possible. A lot of people will say, well, are you recording it? Because if you're recording it, I don't really need to show up that night. And the answer is, of course you need to show up that night. That's the only way you're going to be able to ask questions of our expert. So that's the sales pitch for getting them to June 2nd. There's a sense of solidarity and a sense of community and a sense of interaction that happens when they show up to the live event. So play down the recorded version of it. It's available, don't sell it. And then we'll figure out ways that we can get them that content after the fact. When we press, let's see, are you guys hosting the call? Have we figured that out? Are you hosting them on June 2nd and 9th? Or you must be, because you're sending out the links already.
Right.
So I have that set up through my work. So I work for a community foundation. So we had a Zoom account already ready to go. So I stepped in and set those up. One clarifying question I do have, is your intention that the same group of people, the same 100 folks, will be on June 2nd and June 9th as a 2 parts of the same series?
Yes.
Okay. So then okay. I just wanted to make sure I have the registration set up so that it's one link that gets you to the June 2nd and the June 9th one. So you're registering once for both sessions. I just wanted
That's
to make
fine.
sure that was not erroneous on my part.
And it's not like they're paying a different price for both sessions.
No.
They can use the same link. That's great.
Okay.
The way we get them to both sessions is, this is world-class speaker training, right? I've got an online program called Present Like a Pro. It's 4 digits to get into the program. So this is really high-end content, and I'm not fooling around. They are not going to get stuff that they hear all the time from everybody else. You know that old adage, the number 1 rule in speaking is know your audience. I don't say that. The number 2 rule in speaking is tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. Yeah, I don't do that either, right? I do the high-end stuff. And because I'm a lifetime Rotarian, I will tell these presidents exactly what to do to run meetings that will increase attendance, that will increase engagement, that will help them earn the president's citation. I know all that inside stuff because I'm a Rotarian and a past district governor. And Randy knows this, so that's why this was such a nice dovetail for us to do this together. When we do the program, Mackenzie, we're going to do what's called a rolling start. Mackenzie? Yeah, Mackenzie. We're going to do a rolling start, which means if you open up the waiting room at 10 minutes to the hour, when people come in, I'm going to start chatting them up and getting them lubricated a little bit so that they're ready to learn at 7 o'clock. We're going to do things in the Zoom meeting that I wanted to do in the physical meeting after we all come out of this COVID haze. So we're going to be showing them a lot of tricks. Make no mistake, everybody, the clubs model the district's behavior. And that doesn't matter if it's good behavior or bad behavior. So when we put on a really high quality Zoom broadcast that feels like a TV show, they're going to want to do the same thing when they hold their club meetings. If we put on a clown show, then that's the kind of show that they're going to try to replicate when they do their own Zoom meetings. So that's why I'm going to run it like a TV show, no dead air, very professional, the recordings, all that. Mackenzie, you're going to record a video version of the call for people that want to watch. You're going to record an audio version of it for people that want to listen while they're on the treadmill or walking the dog. And you're going to also capture the text of the call, the text file, TXT. The text file, everybody, is the chat feature. Raise your hand if you don't know what chat is on Zoom. If you click down at the bottom of your interface, you'll see there's a chat. And that's, of course, where people can type messages and questions and stuff. I just typed hello. I just started the TXT file. Now, when I do speaker training, I'm going to be mentioning websites and books you should read and maybe a movie that you should go see about speaking. There's a ton of them. The King's Speech, I think, was one that was very fun and educational. And whoever's on your team, Mackenzie, that's typing into text, probably not you because you're going to be doing the technical stuff. You're going to be helping people with technical issues. And you do that behind the curtain. This is my language. Things are in front of the curtain that our guests will see, completely transparent, and things that happen behind the curtain. So we don't try to help people solve their technical issues in front of the curtain. That's all done behind the scenes. And people will figure out pretty quickly you're reaching out to help them with their audio, turn their microphone on, all that kind of stuff. Maybe Samantha's.
So we've divided this into 3 pieces, Michael. So I'm on air. Everything that's happening in front of the curtain is me. Behind the curtain, audio issues, registration issues is Rachel. And then the chat box, getting links, all of those things is Samantha.
Excellent. So you've already got that all sussed out. Beautiful. Be patient with me while I get all the players straight.
Michael, if I can ask just for a clarification, that behind the curtain tech piece, how is that handled? I just kind of a fundamental thing, I guess. Is that a text message between Rachel and whomever, or how does that transpire?
Well, we don't know initially how they're going to fall into Rachel's purview. sometimes they'll interrupt the whole program just to talk on their microphone, and I'll say, if you type into chat, Rachel will pick you up and get you all sorted out. Sometimes they'll just type into chat, I can't get my microphone to work. Rachel's going to intercept it there. And in chat, of course, you can chat with everyone, which we don't want them to do with technical problems, or they can just chat with Rachel. And Rachel's job will be to have her radar up, so she's just pulling all those people into her camp.
Right.
We can also handle that type of tech hygiene before the call ever starts through email. Fortunately, people are starting to figure this out now that they've been in the Zoom pool for several weeks. So there's a lot less of that to do than there used to be.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Once we press record, I guess it's going to be my show. I don't run a talking head program. There'll be no PowerPoint. I want to talk to people, and I'll be calling people out, because I know that if I mouse over this little Brady Bunch scenario, I can see Connie's name. I can see Mackenzie's name. Sometimes I'll see a phone number that ends in 3128. That's how I'll call on that person. Hey, 3128, what do you think of this? And by doing this, we're going to keep the interaction very high. I'm going to ask people to give me a thumbs up if they agree, a thumbs down if they disagree. I'm going to ask them to type questions into chat, not at the end of the program, but as we roll, so that they can get the answer with what we call JIT, or just-in-time delivery. We're going to begin on time and end on time, because that's what a role model presentation does. Remember, we're teaching these people how to run really great meetings, and we are going to walk the walk that day. I think that we should give your current governor, if the current governor is on the call, a chance to say hello. And I think we should give Randy a chance to say hello, because he organized this thing and he's going to be taking over the reins soon. We're essentially training his people for next year. But there's a courtesy we always give to the present governor. Do we know if the governor is going to be on the call?
I do not. Rachel, do you know?
I do not know, but I actually have to talk to Tom tonight. I will find out and let everybody know.
Okay. What is the current governor's name, so I can stay alert?
Tom is registered.
Todd?
Oh,
Tom.
very good.
Thank you. What's
Tom Miles.
Miles?
Miles.
I think you gave me that name before. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch for Tom, and I'll try to get him at the top of the hour.
We should let him know that he has that opportunity to say something to begin with, too.
Okay, good.
I'll mention it to him tonight.
Okay, thanks, Rachel.
With him on the other stuff.
Because I use Zoom for my online programs, I'm going to launch a new sales program soon. The Present Like a Pro program has been in operation for over a year now. We've been using Zoom in my district since 2015 when I introduced it. Very Zoom friendly. I understand how it works. And one of the tricks I want to share with you right now is how you will repurpose this recording after the fact. So there's a whole bunch of ways you can do this. And Mackenzie's smiling already. Why are you smiling?
It's a conversation that I've had in a lot of different spaces of when you have great programming, you don't want the program to die at the program. And so if there's takeaways, video clips that you can do, really great sound bites from members that you can add, like all of those things are really good fodder for not only future events, but also promoting your club, your district, and
100%. She's exactly right. So here are some different ways that we can repurpose this. The easy no-brainer is we will have a 60-minute video file that can be reshared to the district YouTube channel. The deal breaker there is usually that the district doesn't have a YouTube channel, or the district's YouTube channel is not very good, not looked after. But we'll worry about that, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Not many people will watch an entire 60-minute video after the fact anyway, so Mackenzie's right on. We're going to chunk it up into 2, 3, 5-minute segments based on the speaker flow, the content flow. It won't be hard to find highlights because I do a whole string of highlights, and maybe those are the ones that get a lot of the play. Those can be uploaded not only to the YouTube channel, but so you imagine you could get 10 pieces of content right away. You could easily, with this one program, you could develop a reputation as the district in Michigan that trains its leaders better than every other district. And that would be a good reputation to have, because we're trying to attract 20-somethings, 30-somethings, 40-somethings, people who crave professional development, and Rotary is often on the weak end of that. in terms of delivering that kind of quality programming. But you're going to get it here in two Thursday nights, so it's pretty cool. So the long form video, short form videos. You can also do a screenshot at any given time. Now, the thing about screenshots is most people have what's called a resting phase. So if we took a screenshot and didn't tell anybody about it, it wouldn't be something that you'd want to show off because it would look like the people weren't enjoying themselves or having a good time. So if we do a screenshot, I orchestrate it completely for you. I say, okay, everybody, we're going to do a quick little bit of video hygiene, and Randy's smiling because we did this when I did my coaching with him. Adjust your headroom, clean up your background a little bit, lean forward. I want to see what's called the social six, the top teeth, actually smiling and not looking like you're bored out of your mind. And then we do the screenshot when everybody's smiling, and it makes all the difference in the world. That makes it look like people are really having fun and enjoying. And that's what gets pushed out afterward to promote attendance for the second session. Because psychologically, if people miss the first session, they say, well, I'm still alive. COVID hasn't got me yet. I don't have to attend next Thursday either. But when they see this was just screen 1 of 4 screens or 5 screens on the Zoom interface, right? And well, by the way, we're just going to share the one with the prettiest people.
So that brings me to a question about how you want the recording of the video done. In the gallery mode or record it in speaker view?
I would do it in speaker view for that reason. Most people they don't really have a camera sense. A lot of people even forget that they're on camera. You see the strangest things in these.
You do. That's what I assumed, but I wanted to double check.
And just to be clear, in the upper right, you can mouse up there now. You can see a toggle button. It's a radio button that says either speaker view or it says gallery view. And if you click it right now, it'll give you the Brady Bunch, which is the gallery. And if you click speaker view, it gets whoever's talking, or the host, apparently in this case, because I'm not looking at myself right now. I'm looking at somebody much more attractive than I am. It's you, Mackenzie. Why?
I'm not the host, so I'm not sure why. It just has a sense I like to talk, I guess.
It's weird because it should be promoting the speaker, because I think it gets an audible cue from whose microphone is live.
Yeah, Michael, I see you as the main person.
Okay, and now I see you, Randy, and not Mackenzie. So maybe it was just jammed up there for a second. Anyway, that's how it's supposed to work. So since I'm the professional, since I'm going to be putting on a little show, I recommend speaker view. If we do Q&A and we're doing this live thing, and it seems like it's lively, then I think you can go into gallery mode and everybody's having a good time. I think that'll be a good show for everybody. What else? Oh, the text. So the text will have a version of its own entertainment and own content. And that's what we screenshot as well. You can share the text file later, but it's hard to do that. It's much easier just if you see a good stretch of text, you do a screenshot and just save it and repurpose it later and say, this is from our first session. Every time we promote the first session, we show the link to the second session. It's the same link as we now know. But that's how we get attendance up for the second session and not down. We also know that people do, when you do issue a call to action, which is one of the things I'm going to spend a lot of time on in this speaker coaching, every good presentation has a call to action. The more specific the call to action, the more likely the people will actually do it, right? So we're going to tell people we want 100 people on this call. We don't just say we're having a Zoom call, show up if you can. We say we're going to have 100 people on the call. And then people start doing the math. Wait a second, we only have 33 clubs. That's 3 people per club. This is the thing. That's what we want the psychology of it to be. And that's exactly right. 4 officers per club is, just at 30 clubs is 120 people. And then 20 people from the district level, 20 leaders at the district level, the AG team, et cetera, and you've got 150 people. Can we get 100 of those to the call? And we're not limiting it to presidents. We want the presidents on first, but we want to fill up the class. That's the idea. And then, of course, many more people will see the program in residuals or in syndication. Jeff.
Yeah, a question on the numbers. We were talking the other day, if by chance, and let's hope it does play out this way, our registrations are pouring in and it looks like we're going to exceed that 100. our understanding with Zoom is you can purchase an add-on that would allow you to expand beyond that 100. Is that something that we can do on the fly here? Let's say, you know, we get to that 100 on Monday and we can pull the trigger, or are we locked into that 100?
I don't know the answer, and I'm going to ask the Zoom experts here in just a second, but let me share my philosophy on this. And not everybody's up for this, by the way. This is a very non-Rotary thing that I'm about to suggest to you.
Leave them wanting.
If the program sells out, good.
Yeah.
If 5 people can't get in, good. I would promote that. I would say it's sold out. Wish we could have accommodated everybody. Guess you might want to sign up sooner next time, Rotarians.
Yeah.
Now, not everybody has the stomach for this, but I can tell you in my governor year, when we sold out the Meet the Governor night for the first time in the district's history, everyone was on notice. This year is going to be different than all the other years. This is not like other Rotary, years where you can just amble in, you can find a seat at any event, We've taken things to a different level this time. So we don't do it with animus and we don't do it with hostility. But from a marketing point of view, I think there are advantages. Now, let's ask the Zoom experts. How late can we pull the trigger on the extending the attendant? Does anybody know?
So I haven't hit the 100, but from what I've seen of my colleagues that have used this is that you can open up your Zoom account at any point. I will say I would ask for a check from the district to cover the community foundation's increased cost in Zoom. Samantha, as a HCCF board member, will support this. But I mean, that would be the only thing logistically, but
yeah. The only thing I ask is that we don't trip over ourselves trying to focus on the wrong things.
Right. I would agree to I'd keep it at 100.
Yeah, trying to get those other 5 people into the program and then clicking the wrong button and shutting off the damn recording is not furthering our goals. So as long as we're clean about this, I don't care what you do, but you can't go wrong with selling out, in my opinion, if it should come to that. I hope we get 100 people. I really do.
Michael, I think also the fact that you highlighted that it is going to be recorded and we do have the opportunity, post-tense to share the content really alleviates that concern. Yeah, it's not the same as being there live, but you're not completely cut off.
That's right. You miss a live event, you can be spurned. You could feel outraged. But if you miss a recorded event, we'll send you the recording, take a pill, go to bed. So,
can I ask where we are right now with registration?
39.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty good place to be a week out.
Well, and we only really started promoting it this week. So that's really good.
That is really good. So you guys now can be emissaries because you got a little flavor for what I do, right? You understand what we're doing now, and you can go push out, hey, this guy doesn't fool around, or this guy's a professional, or we've never had anything like this before. Your own words, whatever you think is the appropriate way to promote this. By the way, let's do a screenshot. I'd like you all to clean up your video. And I'll do it here on this end. I'll let you know before I take it. I'm on a Mac, so I got to do the claw. You all know about the famous claw. 3. Now look at this, the lens of the camera. Don't look at your images. That's important for eye-to-eye contact. Lens of the camera. 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. That wasn't so bad. So I'll share this with anybody that wants it. I'll send it to, how about Rachel? And then Rachel can kind of push it out to everybody else. Post it on the district Facebook page. Post it on the district website if you can get it there. Where else? You have Instagram, Twitter?
We have Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's on our Facebook page already. Thanks to Rachel.
Good. But I mean the screenshot, because now this is our dress rehearsal. We're bringing you closer to it. Here's a picture of the guy that's going to be doing the training. So the fire is getting hotter and hotter and hotter as we approach the date. Just to show you how small Rotary thinks about this kind of stuff. Why in the hell isn't this a public program? We're going to train your district people anyway. And why don't we charge the public to get into the Zoom? Because membership has its privileges. But we don't think like that. And we could. So let's do that next time. That's exactly how we're thinking as we wrap up our conversation tonight with the professional development seminar that I'm going to do for Pigeon Rotary. we're not marketing that to Pigeon Rotary or the district. We're marketing it to the public. And how much are we charging to get in, Jeff? Do we know?
Oops. It's going to fall in the probably $40, $45 range.
Yeah. I mean, let's say it's a $50 range just to keep the math easy.
Yep.
100 people at $50 is $5K, and that's just ticket sales. That doesn't
Yep.
even count sponsorships, which
Right.
is where the real gravy is. And that's just 100 people. If the auditorium, I think it's in the school auditorium.
It is.
Is it the same place I was last time?
Yeah, but it's been just totally redone, and it's pretty impressive.
And a lot more than 100 seats, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we can handle like 350, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. That's $15,000 if you can fill it, you know.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to get people to do here is when they think about speaking, they're thinking in Rotary, they're thinking a little bit less folksy and more professional, right? TV show versus sewing circle. That's what we want them to be at. So you'll notice I'm speaking at about 180 words per minute tonight. Most Rotary clubs don't move nearly that fast. I was in a Rotary meeting the other day and it took them 6 minutes to do a 50-50 drawing. You know what a 50-50 drawing is, right? Draw the ace of spades. 6 minutes, Connie. I thought some people were going to have cardiac arrest during the 50-50 drawing. So we're going to keep things moving. We're going to put on a show for them, and hopefully that will turn up the heat a little bit and help people perform better next year. Let's do some quick Q&A from the Brain Trust here. Any questions I can answer for you about how we're going to roll on Thursday?
I have a question. So in regards to like content that needs to be shared in the chat box, will that be sent out ahead of time? Is there like a script for how and when to share things, or is that coming direct from you?
No, well, it's coming from my mouth.
Okay.
So what you're gonna hear quotable quotes, and you're gonna hear websites, and you're gonna say, might say something like, I did a blog about things you should do in the first 5 minutes of your presentation. And you go to your screen, you type Michael Angelo Caruso blog, first 5 minutes, the blog comes up, you post the blog link into the text.
Okay, so I, in real time, am going to need to seek these resources out. You're not going to have like a preset list of, I'm probably going to mention this movie, I'm probably going to mention this.
Well, one good thing is, you can do a website easily. You can do the Facebook. I have a free Facebook group called Present Like a Pro. You can have that ready to go.
Okay.
Right, stuff like that. You're going to be promoting your district website, which, by the way, some of your incoming presidents have never looked at. You could have that ready.
Okay.
You could have a role model club page ready to go so that people can see what that looks like. Just in case.
And Michael, if you mention your podcast or other things that you are doing, Samantha could have that ready to go too, as you say that.
Yeah,
so she can put it
I
on.
appreciate that. I don't want this to be a Caruso commercial. If people want extra help, I'll be available to them, but I mostly want them to be familiar. For example, here's another one, Samantha, which is the Media Center. Is it called Media Center? Brand Center at Rotary International, at my Rotary. That's where they can get quality logos, quality videos. We want them to show quality videos in their meeting, not crap. We want them to understand best practices for showing the master brand. Stuff like that. And don't worry if you miss something. You can search in real time, Samantha, if you have access to, like what I do sometimes is I'll toggle in and out of Zoom to go to the browser. So you can do that in real time. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, luckily there's 2 screens here, so not an issue.
And you could share the links across both?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had 2 screens once. I love that, man. That was the best. Okay, anything else?
Just to recalibrate, our session is actually on Tuesday of next week.
Did I say Thursday?
Yes.
I'll try to be there on Tuesday then.
That's okay. Just want to get us on the right page there.
I'm glad you mentioned it. People watching this recording months and years from now won't care what day it was, but
yeah,
it's a good thing I know. Let me just double check my calendar, make sure we're good. I know we did a written agreement on it. I'm 100% sure I just misspoke, and that's all. Any other questions?
So Q&A wise, I know you had you wanted to have folks sending chats in real time. At the end of this, do you want there to be kind of a summarization of questions that have come in that maybe you haven't had a chance to get to? How do you want that handled?
Well, ideally, because people will get Michael fatigue, just like they get Randy fatigue, and God knows we get Jeff fatigue. But as we get going, they're going to want a little commercial break from time to time. So if one of you wants to say, like Mackenzie, hey, Michael, we've got a question about something you were talking about a few seconds ago. Would you mind answering it now? I'm going to go, yeah, of course. What is it? I won't be able to pay 100% attention to chat because I'll be doing the presentation.
Right.
But sometimes I have chat open and I can grab it, but people love to hear from different voices, different ages, different genders. I think that's the beautiful thing about Rotary. So if we can use this program to spotlight other people besides me, like people that are actually in your district, like future leaders like Mackenzie, I think that's fantastic.
Okay, that'll be my plan then.
Okay, cool.
So you are encouraging Mackenzie to not interrupt, but say, hey, Michael, I have a question here.
He's got to breathe at some point, Randy. I just slide right in there.
That's exactly right. Take a drink of water, take a break. Yeah, if I just do an onslaught, and this is the thing about speaking, if I just do an onslaught of 185 words a minute for 60 minutes, I'm going to blow the tops of people's heads off. That's not a good goal. So we want that kind of ebb and flow. I think that's really lovely when that happens. And it gives people a chance to think. And sometimes that question triggers another question. Like I said, I don't have 37 PowerPoint slides I need to cycle through. I would rather do stream of consciousness. I would just rather handle exactly what you guys want to hear. And so there's that. It
makes it more interactive too when it's not just done in a lecture style. And we might need a couple of you guys to plant some questions early on, just because even when people say, hey, we'll take questions all the way throughout, typically people won't be brazen enough to be the first person to like ask the question in the chat.
Yeah.
So if we get a little bit in, I may send a private chat to a couple of you to spark the
That's
the
right.
discussion.
These are called ringer questions, RINGER. They're planned questions. We all know, like behind the curtain, this is about to happen. It could be one of you think I glazed past something quicker than I should have. Maybe I use an acronym. This happens sometimes. And so Randy types in the chat, Michael, what is RPIC again? Right? And now I have to go back and clean up my own mess. This is organic. This is real life, everybody. And best of all, everybody will then know what RPIC means. So it's good. I like it. We're working as a team.
And as a point of order, you really only want Mackenzie to stop you and interrupt you and say, hey, we have a question, versus Jeff or me or anybody else.
Anybody can do it. Anybody.
Oh, you're saying anybody can ask a question to you?
Yeah. Why? Can anybody guess why I want everybody interrupting?
Well, more interaction and break up that Michael influx of
100%.
Oh, Michael.
Randy, you're the DGE. You should never attend an event and not say anything. So I know we were staging you at the top to give you official recognition, but how cool is it at the end that you're still with us and you're still interested and you're still learning? You realize how that makes all the presidents feel great, right? Beautiful. Great questions, everybody. Connie, what do you think? Can we pull this off?
I know you can. And I have great confidence in the team that Randy has put together. I really do. They do great work.
Thank you very much. That's what I need. More pressure in my life, Connie. Rachel, what do you think? Is it coming together?
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm really excited about this. I did want to ask one quick thing on the Q&A. I have had a couple people ask me how long the sessions are. So knowing a lot of us in Rotary, it could go over. Mm-hmm. If we have somebody who wants to, only has that time slot, and we do get a lot of Q&A, do we want to start queuing some up for, like, do we know we're going to be going over a little bit here? So if you do need to sign out before we're completely done talking, should we be prepared to maybe keep a little, lineup of questions if we get to that point?
Yep. So having done 2,000 paid presentations all over the world, I'm ready for the questions at quarter to the end, 45 minutes in.
Okay.
I'll already have taken some if the ringer questions work, and then at 15 minutes in. And here's how we handle the sign off. About 5 minutes before the end of the hour, I'll say, listen, everybody, I'm all yours tonight. If you want to stay on longer, I'll be happy to answer questions. If you need to peel off, you can just cue up the recording at minute 60 and hear everything that you missed. And now everybody's covered. And then we'll get a sense that the questions are starting to wane and go away. And, you know, if any of you need to peel off, I certainly understand. We bill it at an hour. Nobody knows what's going to happen in minute 55. But it's the opposite of the rolling start, right? It's the rolling finish, or the slow roll finish. At some point, I pull the plug because there'll be no oxygen in the room and maybe only one person's on. And I'm like, just call me and we can talk offline, that kind of thing.
Rachel, what time will you be allowing people into the room from the waiting room? What time are you going to open?
So that's me for this one.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
so
Mackenzie.
no, just because it's my Zoom account. That's the only reason.
Okay.
Silly me, set up the registration account, and here we are. So my plan is 10 till.
Okay.
Is to open it up at 6:50 so that people have 10 minutes to come in, start chatting with Michael,
Okay.
and go that way.
All
I
right.
like that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I had the pleasure of speaking to the Lakeville Rotary Club in Minnesota this morning at 8 a.m. and they did a rolling start, and it went really well. It can go one of two ways when you do the rolling start. I just think it's better not to leave everybody outside unless you have serious technical problems. You let them in, and then there's a little bit of a warm-up, right? But I do think, remember Reggie Jackson, the baseball player, he said he's the straw that stirs the drink. I do think if you're going to let people in at 10 minutes too, somebody needs to stir the drink. Somebody kind of needs to be the host with the most, or the hostess with the mostest. Otherwise, it's kind of like this free-form thing. And what we do is we pull the wallflowers off the wall. We try to hear from everybody, get everybody to speak early and often, which kind of greases the skids for the Q&A that happens. So all these little tricks. A plug of something that's coming up soon. Things like that. I'm confident. I never know what I'm going to get when I do these rehearsals, and I never felt stronger about the production team. So bravo, everybody.
Well, I'm thinking, Randy, you would be that straw, I think, right?
Oh, I could be. Yeah, I could stir some people up.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to know most everybody joining the call, I would think, or a lot of them.
And I'll help with that. I'm not one of those speakers that has to be in the green room checking my makeup and stuff. I just jump right in. I did it with Lakeville this morning. I say, hi, everybody. My name's Michael. I'm your guest speaker today. Because nobody introduced me, man. I'm just sitting there like this, you know. And finally, I just said, oh, hell with it. I'm Michael. I'm your speaker today. How are you, Ben? Nice to see you. Oh, I like your virtual background, Leslie. You know, and pretty soon I was just one of the bunch. So it's easy to do, but it's amazing how not just Rotarians, but just people climb in the back seat waiting for somebody else to put on the show. Mm-hmm. And I know that, so I just step into the front seat. And there's reward for that. I'm going to try to teach all the presidents to do that.
Hey, Michael, I think one of the things that we certainly want to promote is the Rotary International Virtual Convention coming up.
Okay.
So a lot of opportunity to attend an international convention that, you know, people would never have the chance to do that.
Why don't we leave that to somebody at the district level for your talk, you know, what do you call that? They call it housekeeping. I hate the term because it's a cliche, but just a few announcements at the beginning, maybe make that one of the announcements.
Yeah, yeah.
And make sure you have the link. It should be a fairly easy link to verbalize. Yeah, and then Samantha, you can drop that link into the text. Because if you know for sure he's going to talk about it, save everybody the trouble of having to write it down, and there it is.
Yep, and I've even got it bookmarked, so very good.
Okay, cool. Great, good idea, Jeff. So we'll tell everybody that too, you know, that nice mix of announcements, something at the international level, something at the zone level, maybe something at the district level, and let's spotlight a few of the clubs that are kicking butt and taking names, and that's a nice mix of a message mix, I think. Anything else?
Well, Jeff, you and I can talk before Tuesday to come up with some good ideas for for stirring the drink.
Yep, certainly.
What we need.
Absolutely.
If any of you,
Greyhound put his head in the screen next time, he's over here dying to get in on this, by the way, just so you know. Pushed him away a few times.
can we advertise dogs welcome? Because that's been my favorite part of everyone working from home has been their animals making appearances.
Well,
If any of you from the district want to jump in, Bad Axe Club is hosting a Rotary Youth Exchange. A Bad Axe high school student just got back from her Rotary Youth Exchange. She was in Sweden for a year. So she's our program on Monday at noon. It's on our Rotary page. So if you want to see me Zoom in action,
Nice.
hang out.
That invitation went out to all of our club members today, Mackenzie.
I heard that you're coming to hang out with us. So.
Well, I'm not sure, but
Matt told me that you guys are coming to hang out with us, so it's already been committed.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Matt's making decisions for you. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Would you send me that invitation, Mackenzie?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So little parting shot here on the way out. It has to do with pets. I read, this is very clever. There's a farm in North Carolina that has a miniature donkey. And for $50, which I'm pretty sure they accept PayPal. You heard about this, Samantha? This little donkey will do an interchange. They'll show up on your Zoom call, and say hi to all your peeps. And I guess it's well worth the investment if you run terrible meetings. I just thought it was so clever because now the farm's making a little bit of money, Mambo's getting attention, and the Zoom people are delighted because what is this unusual thing? So it's a fabulous idea.
So I listened to a whole podcast about this actually, and they've expanded to the whole farm, and you can pick which animal or animals you want coming to your corporate Zoom.
Wow.
You're booked out for throughout the rest of the year already.
Wow.
And prices range from $50 all the way up to $1,500. So
yeah, and I heard the animals have formed a union, and they all and as much as I like the idea, we will not be doing any of that shit on Tuesday night.
What animal is worth $1,500 for a Zoom appearance? That's what I want to know. If you can't give me like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, I don't want it.
it was like their top llama who will even make sounds on command. So
Mackenzie, that's a great point. For $1,500, you should be able to pull up animals that are extinct.
I run a nonprofit. We're used to real small budgets here. So I'm just like, 15, like, what do you do? Who is spending $1,500? And let me give you a better place to spend that money.
And the people that only have happy bucks are pulling up sock puppets and stuff like that. That's all they can afford. That's too funny. Okay, so listen, my personal cell number, 248. I'm giving you this in case you need to get a brainstorm. You just want to be in touch. 248-224-9667. And otherwise, I'll be on. I'll probably be looking for you guys 30 minutes, T-minus 30 on Tuesday night. How's that sound?
Great.
Okay, cool. Excellent. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm going to do a great job for you, and thank you for having me.
So I will make sure I have the Zoom open 30 minutes before. So if you guys want to jump in, then we'll be.
I'll get in 30 minutes early too, Mackenzie, so you can assign me the access I'm going to need. Okay.
Yeah, that 30 minutes is low impact. It's just to make sure the connection's good.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Go back to answering email and drinking vodka or whatever, and then about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to the hour, stuff starts getting real.
And that's what I can start letting other people into. If someone signs in 20 minutes early, I can wait until 15 minutes to actually.
Yeah, I mean, if they're banging down the doors at 1:45 or 22, I'm fine with that. It's ready to go.
Okay.
What do they call that in real life? We're opening the doors, or the house is open.
I thought you were going to say relatives at Christmas showing up 20 minutes earlier than you tell them to.
Hey, Rachel, can I give you a quick call once we're done?
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Looking forward to it.
Likewise.